Let me tell you about my friend Amy. She's intelligent, confident, and always had high career aspirations. Amy dreamed of working with animals. She studied at college and university and graduated the top of her class. But that was just 4 years ago. And so far, Amy just hasn't managed to secure her dream job. In fact, it's been over a year since she even browsed the job listings. She's starting to give up on her dream, making her education and her life goals fade away. Okay, so perhaps this scenario is slightly exaggerated, but this is a situation that's becoming more and more common. With so many people excelling at school and then going on to college and university, there are more people out there than ever chasing those dream jobs. Some people have to enter a job they don't want while they wait for that ideal career to come along. Others will work at it and refuse to take no for an answer. There are 2 key elements that you have to have before leaving school in order to achieve that dream job: determination and perseverance. Getting your dream job early may not necessarily mean doing it on the first attempt. It might take 2, 3, 4, or 10 attempts to secure that job. Just keep on going, don't give in, and don't settle for second best. It won't land in your lap, and it's up to you to chase it. Only you can wave the net, and it needs to be a really big net. The hunt begins with your resume. It's always the first thing an employer will check before considering applicants, so it's vital that your resume catches their attention. It has to stand out without doing so in a negative way. So that means no fancy graphics or bubblegum scented paper. Firstly, make sure you write to your audience. If, like Amy, you're applying to be a veterinarian, make sure you show them that by using the appropriate language and phrasing. It has been reported that people are using acronyms in their job applications. Words such as LOL. There are no instances where this language is appropriate. Rewrite your resume every time you apply for a job. Research the company thoroughly and make sure you include details which they would be looking for. Make sure you read the job description so many times you could say it backwards, and include the skills they're looking for, as long as they're true, of course. The important information needs to be at the top, and it needs to stand out. Employers aren't going to want to sift through piles of paperwork just trying to find the skills that they're looking for. They want those skills to jump out and hit them in the face. Don't just pack everything into one paragraph. Don't be afraid to use bullet points. The simpler, the better. All an employer wants to know is, are you qualified for the job? And you need to hit them with a big, fat yes. You may think you need experience to stand a chance. And while it's true, it may work in your favour, it isn't a necessity. But if you know your education will be coming to an end in a year or 6 months, what's to stop you going out and getting some experience? Now, I'm not really talking about getting a part-time job in a supermarket just for the sake of adding something to your CV. But why not try to get something that's relevant to your career aspiration? Amy could have volunteered at a local cat protection organisation at the weekends, or maybe helped out with a local dog trainer. If you're interested in filmmaking, why not bust out the camera and make a few short films? An aspiring web designer could do some freelance work online. In fact, this applies to a lot of creative professions, such as graphic design, writing, or marketing. What this also does is it gets you networking. Have you ever heard the phrase, "It's not what you know, it's who you know"? Well, unfortunately, this is true. I mean, how else would Kristen Stewart keep getting work? The more people you know, the more people there are out there to say, hey, I know someone who'd be good for that. It's really important to use those connections. The hardest part is getting your foot in the door and getting yourself noticed.
Yes! Oh, God.
I'll have what she's having.
It's much harder to get someone's attention than it is to keep it. Wait, what's that? That being said, don't use that as an excuse to lessen your efforts once you have bagged yourself an interview. Be aware that a lot of companies will now vet applicants using social media sites. Ensure your privacy settings don't allow people who aren't your friends to view your profile. And make sure your profile picture is appropriate. Keep your tweets work safe. Be funny and likable, but don't be overly aggressive, vulgar, or controversial. It wouldn't hurt to tweet about your skills, or perhaps to comment on some news stories that are applicable to the role that you want. A potential employer would find this appealing about your character. Remember, this is to be expected. All the other candidates will be feeling just as nervous as you are, and the interviewer will expect it. So don't add extra pressure on yourself by worrying about being worried. Do endless amounts of preparation. Research the role, the company, and other similar companies. You need to arm yourself with enough ammunition to answer any questions which may arise about you. And you need to be able to ask solid, relevant questions to get them talking and to show how interested you really are. During the time you're in that interview room, you're a salesman, and the thing you're selling is yourself. You need to make sure you're dressed smartly. So for the men, it's time to dust off that suit. And I know you may not want to hear this, but probably a good idea to iron a shirt as well. Ladies, try not to show too much flesh and keep your makeup subtle. You want them to hire you for you. Dress like you are meeting with the company's biggest client. Make them feel comfortable for you to be representing their company. It's easy for anybody to say, but once you're in there with 1, 2, sometimes even 3 interviewers, try to relax. Tell them a joke to break the ice, but know when to be serious. Be honest and thorough with all of your answers, and ensure you know your resume inside out so you can answer any question they might ask about it. Be positive. They're not going to be looking to hire a negative person. If you sit there looking like an unsuccessful contestant on the X Factor, they're not going to have much faith in you being able to perform in your job. Aim high and sell yourself to them. Give them a reason to want to buy your product. You. Then you will get the call, the email, or the letter with the big decision. If it's a yes, great. If not, then just keep on going. The only person who can do this for you is you. So, what are you waiting for? Get out there and start preparing yourself to achieve your goals.